Welcome to MCP, the multi-crew podcast, your go-to destination for everything aviation. From the latest headlines to the quirkiest aviation stories, we'll cover it all. I'm Aiden, and this is my co-pilot Alfie.
Hi guys, you alright? So buckle up and let's get started. So, Aiden, introduce yourself, because nobody knows who we are.
That's a good point.
And nobody probably will know who we are even after this, but still, please introduce yourself.
Yep, so I'm Aiden, aviation management student here at Buckinghamshire University. I'm on the PPL course, not the whole ATPLs. Well, actually, what is ATPLs? Explain it.
ATPL, I'm glad you asked. And because I'm doing the integrated commercial pilot training course, so basically ATPL is your airline transport pilot's license.
Mm-hmm.
It is your ground school for what will basically travel on to help you with your commercial license. You need your ATPL license to have your commercial pilot's license.
Okay.
So it's like PPL theory, but CPL theory.
So it's more in detail. Because you've got to do, is it 11 exams, 12 exams?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good question. I think it's
European.
13. I haven't actually properly checked. Should we have a look?
While you're doing that, I'll explain. So I'm on PPL, which is private pilot's license. That's basically your hobby flying. You can't get paid to do your flying until you do your CPL, your commercial pilot's license.
Leisure only, isn't
Correct,
it?
yeah.
Well,
So,
not only, but
yeah, you can't get paid basically. I'm on that course.
how are you finding it? Are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying it so far. The current module's not the best, but so we've got answers. 14?
So, about 14. That's for the European one, but I think the CAA one's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
In detail. Yeah, but the course. No, do you know what? It's good. I enjoyed the first module, which was aviation operations. This module now, academic and professional skills, is
drag.
Shite.
Yeah, it's a bit of a drag.
A drag is an understatement. I mean, I suppose it's important to obviously get
more for the university side.
It's more for the university.
Aviation.
But I don't know about you, but I came here literally just wanting to be a pilot. I'm not actually too focused on a degree. This is the reason. One of the reasons I came here is I wanted to get a degree, obviously, but I'm not bothered if it's only a pass or if it's a first, which it won't be. But I want to be the best pilot I can be. I want to have the best ground school results, and I'd rather have that and a mediocre degree result rather than having having mediocre ATPL results and a good degree. I think it's very important, to be honest.
To be fair, I never actually wanted to go to uni. I saw this course on a what was it called? It's a Pilots Live event. It's like a conference in Heathrow Airport in Sophia Hotel, and I was like, well, I'll do it because then I get a degree in case my medical if I can't get a medical for some reason.
That's a very good point, actually. Yeah,
that's it's a backup sort of thing. But back to me for a second. So how did my aviation interest start? Well, it started when I went to many air shows. So you've been to RIA, haven't you?
Oh, I've been to quite a few air shows in my time.
So RIA, the Royal International Air Tattoo, massive air show at Farnborough. Not Farnborough. Sorry, Fairford. RAF Fairford. I've been there for about 14 years on the trot, excluding COVID.
On the trot.
And I didn't go last year, to be fair. So it did end my streak. I went there a lot. Was in the RAF Air Cadets for 6 years. Did that for quite a while. Did flying and gliding through them and quite a few courses.
See, I'd really enjoy to do gliding. It's something I've never actually done before. And
it's good fun. It's raw flying.
It is raw flying. Because I suppose it's, in a way, harder to judge a glider, isn't it, than a plane? Because with a plane, you've got an engine. With a glider, you've only got your thermals, haven't you? And or your tow aircraft, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I mean, it's harder in the sense of if you do an approach and it doesn't go right, you can't go around.
That's a good point.
Whereas in powered aircraft, you can go around.
So you have to kind of nail your approach here. Right, talk to me. Gliding. Gliding compared to flying the PA-28, which you're flying at the moment. How's gliding helped you with that?
It's actually massively helped me, especially in like M-ship control of the aircraft. in the sense of my rudder and my aerolong controls are very on point.
Yeah.
Because in gliding, it's very important to do calibrated turns where you've got the ball in sync. Otherwise, it's helped me in the sense of appreciation of the air, so actually how to fly.
I just want to say, just for the people who don't actually understand what we mean by when the ball's in the middle, basically we have a gauge on the aircraft.
Turning slip
indicator. You've got, for your slip, you have a little ball which, if it's in the middle, then it means you're pretty much
turning coordinated.
You're coordinated, yeah. You're turning coordinated, and above that you get like a little, as if you're looking straight onto a plane, and that tells you what your roll is, basically, pretty much. Yeah.
So the reason you want to turn coordinated is because if you think of it as if you don't turn coordinated, it's like a car drifting. The back end kind of spins out, and you're not actually turning very efficiently, and that's called slip.
I think so,
because it's slipping. There's another one.
I think you should leave it at slip.
Well, we'll leave it there. We won't go too far into that one. So yeah, did gliding for 12 hours. Started my PPL at Gloucester, my old aerodrome. And then obviously came to the uni. I did actually apply to the RAF before coming to the uni, but I got into the uni and thought I'll park the application. But yeah, my plan is to go to the RAF as a pilot or into air traffic control. If I can't be a pilot.
What flying?
Same.
What flying?
What aircraft?
Yes.
AWACS aircraft. So AWACS aircraft is Airborne Warning and Control System aircraft. And they're basically aircraft that act as intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance aircraft.
Fantastic. Sounds very interesting.
It is.
You see, if I was ever to join the RAF, I would love to fly the fighter jets. I know it's very basic.
It is
very
basic.
childish.
It is.
But I think there'd be no better feeling than a max afterburner takeoff in a Eurofighter,
restricted,
or a vertical landing in a F-35. That'd be awesome.
That would be
absolutely awesome.
So, Alfie, talk to me about yourself.
Yeah, so born and raised in the Midlands. I've always been into aircraft, like Aiden previously mentioned. I've been to quite a few air shows in my time. My love really started for military aircraft. That's where my passion for aviation actually came from. Because I went to Bournemouth Air Show, I think it was 2013, 2014, 2015. Went 3 years in a row. So these were the first proper air shows I've been to. And it's the first time getting to hear, see, and, well, not feel, but you know what I mean, hear, see, and just experience the drama and the incredible nature of all these aircraft. And I was lucky enough in 2015, I'm sure it was 2015, I got to see the Vulcan fly. And that was incredible.
The sound of it.
The sound of the Vulcan is just unbelievable. Because obviously you've got the howl at the start when it's in front of you, which is an incredible noise. But when when the aircraft flies by you and you've got this engine sticking at you, that is when you get that deep roar, which you don't hear, you feel. You feel that noise, and then it just it's fantastic. Bear in mind, 2013, I was quite young, to be honest. Sorry, 2015, I was quite young. So the fact that I can remember, but pretty much the whole display of that Vulcan was just incredible. Yeah. But anyway, that's where the passion for it started, and then going through the years, it kind of, passion for aviation kind of faded out a little bit. I'm going to be honest, it did fade out a little bit. It was because I never thought I could become a pilot. Do you know what I mean?
It's not an easy. It's an expense. It's very expensive
because you've got the expense and you've also got like the academic side of it as well. Because you know everyone thinks a pilot, you just got to fly, just put the autopilot on. You know, but it's not that. It's not that. It's way more. And that's why, that's why I thought I could never be a pilot, because I've never been an academic person before. But in 2020, I can remember when it happened, I was having a conversation with my granddad, and we started talking about planes again, because my granddad was a big advocate on aircraft, so we started chatting again, and I found an app called Flight Radar.
Like,
oh yeah,
24. What an app! What?
And I used that I still use it to this day, or every single day. It is fantastic, and I live next to East Midlands Airport. I live on the takeoff and landing flight path for both of the runways. Obviously, both directions of the runway. So I see planes fly over every single day, and that's when I started using it. That's when I started getting back into it. Obviously, 4 years later, at the start of this year, I was going to join the fire brigade, or I was going to work in business or something. And I had a chat with my oldest brother, and he was telling me, well, I already knew this, but he said, you've got a dream of becoming a pilot one day. It's always been your dream. Why don't you give it a shot? Why don't you go for it? Just forget about the money side of things. Worry about that later. Forget about the fact that forget about the fact that you think you're not clever enough. Give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? And PPL theory at the moment, the flying is fantastic. It's the best thing I've ever done.
It's been so much fun, hasn't it?
Before I came to university, I was actually doing a little bit of flying at a local aerodrome, Tatum Hill, next to Burton-upon-Trent, where I gained 23 hours flying a Cessna 152.
Fair enough.
And I got to do a solo flight there. And the feeling of doing your first solo is incredible.
I have a photo of me right after my solo, and I've never seen myself with that big of a smile.
Yeah,
quite a few years.
So
that was
So it's a dream come true, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you never thought you could do it, but then you look to the side of you, and it's just you and the aircraft.
Yeah.
It's just you and air traffic control.
Exactly. You and your student course line.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. So that's a little bit about me. You probably weren't that interested, but still, I gave you the stories, I gave you a little insight. But the one thing you need to know about me and Aiden is that we are the most passionate people about aviation you'll meet.
Yes.
You won't find another two guys like us.
No, that's pretty well spoken. So now you know a bit about us, we'll start our first segment, aviation headlines. So this is a segment where we get a few stories over the last few weeks and we talk it through. So our first one is quite a known one. It's about Greenland Air, their farewell, their last hub they've been flying out of for the last 64 years.
64 years?
64 years. They're now moved to Nook, which is a new airport, or it's been upgraded, and that is where they've now relocated their service station to go. And that opens up a big thing, because it now means they can do transatlantic flights.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Exactly. But yeah, so it's a new airport. It happened on the 28th of November, so only a week ago, actually. And it's a milestone event, obviously. I believe they did a lot of... they made it into quite a bit of an event. Yeah.
It was a big event. Yeah.
Fireworks, all that sort of stuff. Because I was watching a video of some people in Greenland, and obviously, because Greenland is a big place, there's not many people living there. But everyone had to go through that airport, because that airport, which I'm not going to try and pronounce, I don't know if you want to try out.
Let's have a look.
Of it. I'll bring up the name.
Let's have a look.
There you go.
Oh my god! So it is Kangalusua.
Something like that.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
So
fantastic.
If you're ever flying from, let's say, the UK, Germany, Europe, or anywhere into Iceland, into Greenland, you'd have to land at that aerodrome, and then you'd get other aircraft to the other airports around. So a lot of the people in Greenland obviously had a lot of sentimental value around that airport.
Of course, yeah.
Whereas now, after 64 years, they've now moved to Nook. It's a bigger airport. It's a new international airport where we're going to start operations with Air Greenland. Talking about Air Greenland, they've got a nice fleet, haven't they?
They do have a rather spectacular fleet. I mean, thing is, when you look at quite a lot of big airlines, what we're saying, such as like Turkish Airways, when you see their like A330s, it's such a big airline, you kind of just expect that. But when you look at like Greenland Air, you've got
Twin
Oh,
Otters.
look at that. Twin Otters.
I like
That's
Twin
cool.
Otter. Have you ever flown in Twin
I've
Otter?
never flown in a Twin
I
Otter.
luckily got to
I'd love to be able to.
Skybus Twin Otter from Land's End to no, was it Land's End? It might be.
Yes, it would. Ooh,
I don't think it's Land's End we went from.
because they do operate them from Land's End.
It's the same area. Either way, went to St Mary. Absolutely loved the aircraft. Loved it.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? I've seen them. I've seen them before. They're pretty cool. But have you ever been on a Boeing 757?
No,
which Greenland Air operate?
they do. Well, they actually used to operate it.
Oh, do
They don't operate anymore. They
That's
only,
very upsetting.
currently they only actually operate the A330 and the Dash 8.
still an impressive fleet because I love the Dash 8. The Dash 8 is just, I think, one of my favourite turboprops.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
I mean,
I'm
it's
an ATR
that-
guy.
Yeah.
I love.
I would love to be able to fly an ATR. But the Dash 4 800, which one was it again?
Dash 8.
Dash 8. Yeah, I do like it. Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. I mean, talking about turboprops, actually, I was thinking about, because when obviously we all leave, we need to consider which path we want to go down, whether we want to be on turboprops, turbo fans, whatever. I will be talking about the difference between them later, so for people who don't know, I will give you some insight onto all the different variants of engines you can get. But I like turboprops, specifically the PC-12.
The PC-12 is gorgeous.
PC-12
as well.
Fantastic.
Wow, yeah, that would be a nice.
They're always at Oxford as well, so you see them all the bloody time. It's bloody awesome, isn't it? Oh, here's a little story.
Okay, go for it.
So I was on my solo flight. It was really cool because we had at Oxford on that day we had 2 TBMs. I think they were both 900s, TBM 900s. Really cool. It's a turboprop, and it's like basically in a way a small private jet, isn't it? And I was lined up. I was going down the taxiway, and in front of me I saw the TBM 900, and I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. So I requested at this point the holding point at Oxford, which is Bravo 1, which is right at the end of the runway, right at the end of runway 19. And I was behind the TBM, which I thought was absolutely awesome. But then the other TBM came up behind me.
So you're in a TBM.
I was
sandwich.
in a TBM sandwich.
Wow.
Which is absolutely awesome. And I don't think I'll ever forget that. But the only issue is because it had to wait for, I think it was a Global coming into land, which is a very large private jet. I had to wait because there was obviously you had the jet, or was it a Citation? I can't remember. I can't remember which one it was. There was a jet, but we had 2 DA-40s and a private jet, let's say. So I waited for them, and the TBM then lined up, and then I thought, here we go, I'm going to be next. But then the TBM, which I believe was a Spanish aircraft, reported that there was a bird on the runway, but it was a red kite, obviously. In Oxford, they're very common. We have a red kite, and you have a car which kind of goes along the runway or goes along the airfield with a gun in it, and it's got a blank. So you fire it, and it shoots the bird off. And you fire it, shoot the gun, and the bird flies off, pretty much. And they went on the runway, but they went to the wrong side of the runway. So they came up towards the aircraft. So my flight instructor kindly requested that I had the plane back by 11:55, and unfortunately I didn't manage to get it back on time because I took off at 11:50. Expect my circuit to be quite quick, but of course it wasn't quick because I had to do 2 orbits, and I had to extend my downwind 5 nautical miles behind the landing. I think it was a Global 6000. Because obviously you got your wake turbulence. So I got back 20 minutes later than I should have been.
You just wanted a long solo time, didn't you?
It was quite it was quite cool though, actually, because I really did enjoy it, because you got to fly out of the circuit quite far, and it feels like you're almost doing like a bit of a cross country flight, but obviously you're not. And so you came back. It was bloody awesome. Anyway.
So, next story. So, Malaysian Airlines have received their first A330-900 Neo, which is the first of 20 that they've got on lease. Thoughts on the A330 Neo?
Pretty cool. I like it.
It's nice, fuel-efficient aircraft. It's good for passenger comfort as well.
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, there's 20 global operators of the A330 Neo, with 140 aircraft currently flying around the world. It's a 297-seater aircraft, and this one's in a premium 2-class configuration. It will have enhanced cabin space, improved air quality, and advanced in-flight entertainment with high-speed Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Ever flown with Malaysian Airlines?
No, I have not.
Neither
They
have I.
don't. I don't think they have the best reputation.
No.
If we look back at their history, but we can gloss over. We can gloss over.
Yeah, we won't worry about that.
We can make that section disappear out of our podcast.
And on to the final story today. Iceland introduces the Airbus A321LR.
What a plane!
It is a gorgeous aircraft, and it's for their fleet modernisation. So, very famous fleet, Iceland Air, with a very nice aircraft.
757, which I've been looking to fly on.
Really? Oh, you have
with of course, with the stupidly powerful Rolls-Royce RB211 engines.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just had to throw that one in there.
You good? Yeah, very overpowered aircraft, known as
flying
super
pencil.
Super car of the
supercar of the sky.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, so the A321 LR is first of 4 leased for Iceland Air. It's a 187-seat aircraft, again in a 2-class configuration, offering premium passenger experiences.
Really? And what is a premium passenger experience, do you reckon?
Well, apparently they are saying large overhead bins, next generation in-flight entertainment, advanced connectivity, and mood-enhancing lighting systems.
Mood-enhancing lighting.
Wow, they really know how to talk out their arse.
They do, certainly.
But it's a good aircraft because it's LR. What does that stand for?
I don't know, but it's a long-range one.
That's what it stands for, long range. Yeah, it stands for long range. So it's got, it can do transatlantic routes up to 4,000 nautical miles.
It's pretty cool because I was on Flight Radar the other day. I looked at Heathrow Airport and I saw a jet blue A321 at Heathrow. And I thought, how's that got here?
Yeah.
And it was I think it was an LR. I can't remember if it was or not. But it's not JetBlue operate the A320, but they only operate the A320 with a business class section, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so this aircraft, reason why Iceland Air have used it is it's a very fuel-efficient aircraft, 20% greater fuel efficiency and reduced CO2 emissions compared to the older models. Now, why would you want that? Well, obviously, with the world being as sense is with climate change, all airlines have a sustainable goal. Iceland Air's is currently they're at a state where they can use 50% SAF, sustainable aviation fuel. And that is planned to be increased to 100% use across their fleet in 2030. So this aircraft allows them to get close to that goal.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to hit that goal by 2030.
No.
At all, to be honest. I think when an aircraft operator sets a goal like that, they are talking shite just so it makes them look good.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I mean,
if they do hit that, I will be very impressed. It's like when, for example, the government said they wanted all their cars to be like electric.
That's not happening.
It's not happening. It's just not. We just don't have the infrastructure. But anyway.
So they've also done other fleet modernisation. They are set to receive 13 additional A321 XLRs, the extra long range.
Extra long range. Wow.
Which will allow them to obviously do long routes. That marks 6,700. Over 6,700 A321 Neo family aircraft sold globally. There we go.
Wow.
Perfect. So we're on to our next topic now, which is aviation oddities. So this is a section where we talk about a odd event over the past week in aviation. So what was our aviation oddity for this week?
Well, it was a United Airlines pilot.
Mm-hmm.
He gained quite a bit of attention for ordering a pizza for standard passengers.
For stranded passengers.
Oh yeah, that does say stranded, doesn't it?
It does.
It doesn't. Sorry, stranded passengers after a flight was diverted. What a great guy! What a great guy!
I've only had one diverted flight, and I was lucky enough to go into the cockpit during it, but I had no pizzas. Funny enough, on an ATR.
Really?
Wow,
And you got to go in the cockpit?
Got to go in the cockpit.
Mental.
Beautiful aircraft.
Respect. I mean, I've never actually been in the cockpit before, but anyway.
Haven't you?
Not of a
Many.
passenger airline, no.
Wow, I've been in many.
Yeah, so obviously he did this because he had to turn a event which had everyone like really frustrated into like something more memorable. So he turned obviously a negative into like a big positive, and that obviously increases media coverage, really helps the United Airlines out. It's pretty cool, and this just it highlights the empathetic. Sorry, I can't talk sometimes. Empathetic side of the aviation world, because there is one. There is one.
There is, yeah. I mean, do you think he did it for media attention, or do you think he did it for just because he's?
I think he was just a genuinely nice guy.
Here's another question.
Go on.
If you were ordering pizza to the aircraft, what do you put as the delivery? The delivery address?
That's a good point. Flight level 340.
Well, he was on the ground, remember? So was it what, like stand 2, United 777?
Yes, bring us to gate 11, please.
Classic. Right, next, not suspect, subject. Sorry. You're going to take this one away.
I am, because this is my part. Engine of the week. Now, this is fascinating because I thought, being as it's our first podcast, I thought we'll do an engine which is really famous. It is the Pratt & Whitney JT8D, which was obviously primarily used from, it was used in the late 70s. So I think when was it developed? It was developed in 1964, and it was the first engine to have a twin spool movement, which is pretty cool.
Explain what it is, because I'm not sure. I don't know anything about it.
Well, neither am I. I'm going to be honest. But I will do a lot of research on that for our next one, and I'll let you know, because a lot of modern day aircraft now have the twin spool system. But commercial jets, such as the Boeing 727, 737, Douglas DC-9, Douglas MD-80, use the JT8D, and I believe, it was a revolutionary jet.
Mm-hmm.
Military aircraft had them. For example, the Boeing 707. I know it's not military aircraft, but you got the military variants such as the E3B Century, the E6 Mercury. What else you got? You got rivet joint, haven't you?
Rivet joint, yeah. You've got the which I can't remember its name.
Actually, not the rivet joint. That uses the
707.
Yeah, but it's not the engines. It's more like I think it's NATO are the only ones that really like properly operate them. But no, it's all pretty cool. And then you obviously it was just the engine which started the jet revolution within aviation. It kind of said no to propeller planes. No, obviously the best thing about it was with jet aircraft, you can fly higher and above the weather, so they're actually more efficient as well, which is what made them so incredible.
Exactly.
And noisy, which I like.
Well, why wouldn't you like it?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fantastic. I love. This is the thing. What gets me excited about aviation? Different types of the jet engines that different aircraft use. I find that fascinating. I find it fascinating how jet engines work, all this type of stuff, and how you've got different inventions onto the jet engine, such as the afterburner, which is a very clever invention. Yeah, no, it's absolutely fantastic. I love that stuff. Whereas, actually, quickly, just whilst we're on this, we're going to divert our conversation a little bit. What's your favourite thing about aircraft? Why do you like them?
What, about specifically aircraft or about aviation?
Well, like, let's say about aviation. Why do you like?
I see. I like it because when you go flying, being like seeing everything so small, everything like continue, like cars driving.
Yeah.
You can't quite see people walking around, but cars driving, people going on along a normal day, trains going past.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. That's what I like, watching everything go by.
That is fascinating. That is
the views.
I think, yeah, the views are really. I
On a
like.
good day, anyway.
Yeah, on a good day. Not if you've got bad visibility, which, unfortunately, my first flight lesson we did have. It was about, I think it was 7,000 meters, which, by the way, may sound a lot, but when you're flying, it is not a lot.
No.
You can't see the horizon. No, but yeah, I'll tell you, it's interesting because I like the procedures you have to go through. I like the pre-flight checks. I like flicking all the switches. It's really satisfying. Talking to air traffic control, I love all that stuff. So I'd much rather focus on the instruments and focus on my well, I say instrument flying, it's not instrument flying, but I like to focus on my instruments to get my flying nailed, then like look out the window. But I do look out the window sometimes. It is the most fantastic thing in the world.
You got to make sure you do your lookout, don't you?
You do have to make sure that you look out.
Otherwise,
else you're going to crash.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and that wouldn't be very pleasant, would it?
No, it wouldn't be ideal.
Not for, yeah. No, that's pretty cool.
Perfect. So we'll move on to our next spotlight. This is AAIB spotlight. So this is AAIB, stands for the Aviation Authority. Air Crash
Investigation Bureau, is it?
Well, crash starts with a C. Aviation. Accident Investigation Branch.
Investigation Branch.
Sorry, that fully went out of my mind for a second. So this segment, we're going to talk. We'll basically find an accident and we talk about it and how it can help pilots, learn and improve. So this one is on a PA-28. And departed Blackpool Airport. And during this flight, the instructor, who did have a valid Class 1 medical, he suffered a fatal heart attack. The qualified pilot on board had to successfully land the aircraft despite the medical emergency. Although this isn't specifically classified as an official accident under the ICAO definitions, the AAIB did investigate to identify learnings for emergency preparedness and resilience during unexpected in-flight crises.
That was a lot of words.
It was. I'm surprised I managed to say that all by myself.
Pretty cool.
So the key lessons in this accident is to always be is the importance of being prepared for unforeseen medical emergencies and unforeseen emergencies in general, and making sure to maintain situational awareness of if something does happen, what we can do, where we going, where we divert, and sort of thing.
Of course.
And it also emphasises effective cockpit resource management and ensuring that when you do go down to these single pilot operation scenarios, that you are fit and well for it.
You've also got to remember your threat and error management. Yeah. What's in the cockpit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you couldn't. It's not really an error you could have mitigated because it's an unforeseen.
But you can anticipate.
You can exactly.
Something's going to happen, and that's kind of what threat error management is. It's anticipating an event that may likely happen. So, for example, when you're doing your lookout, as my flight instructor told me, is don't just look out for aeroplanes. Look out for places you can land in case of an emergency. Look out for fields, specifically grass fields into wind. Yeah, with a clear air zone. Sorry, not clear air zone, a clear end zone. This is another thing you got to look out for error management. Very important. Crew resource management as well as cockpit resource management. Very important as well. Rely on your instruments, rely on your gauges. If you do become let's say spatial disorientated, if you accidentally go into cloud or something, then rely on your instruments. It's just cockpit resource management.
And perfect. That actually marks the end of our first podcast, Maiden Flight. This episode's called the Maiden's Flight.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Maiden Flight. What can I say? So we're going to end with our final segment called Flight Fact Quiz, where we pose a quick question for you guys, and you find out the answer next episode.
Yeah.
So, Alfie, take it away. What is our question for this episode?
Well, our question is, what is the most common aircraft in the world?
Well, have a think on that one, and
you will find out next time. And next time will be when you say around about the same time again.
About
the same time. You'll find out next week around about the same time. Is that it? That's our first podcast done.
That is it done.
That's crazy. Wow. That's pretty cool.
We sign off.
This is where we sign off. All right, everybody. If you made it this far, I apologise about your ears because we do talk quite a lot. But thank you for listening. We can't say watching quite yet because we're not at that level.
No, we're not. At some point
we will be doing some videos and you'll get to see mine and Aiden's very beautiful face. Especially Aiden's face. But yeah, that's it.
That's it. So
that's a wrap.
See you guys next week.
Take care.